All right, let's go ahead and roll initiative. You're in the bone mill. There are skeletons feeding more bones into the mill. As the one of them that's over the big churny thing, as they're throwing the last pile of bones, they start taking out their ribs and throwing them in as well. The zombies look over as you come in, and there's at the far end a lich who sees you coming in and it's like, "No! The bones are ours, not those stupid dogs!"
It said I didn't have permission to initiate
Oh,
combat.
wait, I need to set, okay, do it again.
Good, because I rolled a 7.
No. I forgot that I need to set an encounter DC.
I still lack permission.
Lacks permission to update combatant. And I still rolled a 6.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I forgot to read that thing. It's letting me automatically. Nash, go ahead and roll as well.
Working on it. I ran to the restroom.
No. They definitely improved this because it's now. Okay. All right. So you guys beat it. So who's going first?
It says initiative winner enemy.
I know. It's because I didn't do something correctly. So.
You guys win the initial roll. It doesn't say that. It does now.
It doesn't say that in the thing.
I know the
Oh,
thing is
God.
wrong.
The thing is wrong.
So who's going first?
Oh, God.
Um.
I will go first.
All right.
If that's cool.
Yep.
Oh, that's fine.
I believe I will do. See, yeah.
How do I scroll in this damn thing?
That'll impose.
Right click and drag.
2 AP.
No, I'm talking about in the pop out.
I will bless the 3 of us. And I'm going to include Grace. So I have to make a DC 10 spell check. We're good. The 3 of us are blessed, and with bless in effect, is it? Let me pull it back up. Whenever we make a check or a save, we can roll a d6 and add the number to the roll.
Oh, neat.
Are they blessed or graced?
They're graced. That's why, yeah.
Okay.
I did it. That's the chalice. The chalice is grace.
What does grace do?
So bless is the d4. Grace turns it from a d4 into a d6.
Ah.
So now you get a d6 to checks and saves.
Okay. Yeah. You are all graced up. All right. You got 2 AP?
Yep, I do have 2 AP. I will take a dodge action. Boom. And then I will. Where is it? Like, I'll move. I'll go right here.
Okay. All right. That good?
Yep.
All right. The zombies. Oh, yep. Need to. Action. Move. Go there. This guy. Action. Move. Alright, this guy doesn't need to move. Alright, so this guy is going to... What do you mean no modifications found? It should be... He's dodging, so it should be down... Okay, well... I'm going to do that. They're going to... Do I not have... Alright, and I don't have any special things to put on it. One attack. Looks like that's a hit for one. And then it's going to make a second attack.
My points reset at the beginning of my turn, right?
Yes.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna go ahead and parry that.
Okay, well, what does that do? Just
Spend one action point. You grant the target +5 to its PD against this attack.
alright. So, heal up for that one.
Yep.
And dodge only lasts for one, so it's going to... Wait, no, it can't. It can't. And that one's a miss. Alright. These other two are going to... Man, the HUD add-on broke. Didn't realize that when I was testing all this. This guy is going to bite on Nash. Man.
Nope.
Yep. And then this guy also... Nope. Wrong one. As a heavier hit.
We're gonna go ahead and do a raise shield on that one.
Okay.
And I can't do like two things on one, can I? I can't do like a raise shield and a parry.
I think you can, as long as you have the AP for it.
So I think it's also... What is it? Raise shield...
It's also when you're targeted.
Oh,
by
guys,
the
it didn't
attack.
update Raise Shield. Oh, so Raise Shield works on area damage, not area defense, not precision.
Oh, okay.
Points.
So I'll do
So
parry.
you can parry. Yeah.
But I'll still
Go
take
ahead.
one.
Okay. All right. Oh, wait. Action points refresh at the end of your turn, not at the start. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Would you still do your parries?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and that is all the skeletons' turns. Boy, I'm going to need to figure out a better way to do this. Which one of you two is going next?
I already did my turn. Or is
Yeah,
it back
between
to us
Thur
again?
and Nash.
Okay.
Let me think.
It's popcorn initiative, so one side and the other side.
I think I would like to. I want to think.
Okay.
Why is it doing this?
If I could read the rest of Whirlwind, it'd be great. Okay, so for my turn, I'm going to step north one.
Okay.
If I can
It's
figure
also
out how to grab my character.
and we forgot to do this last time. But you do have adaptive tactics, so when you roll for initiative at the end of each no, it's not that one. Which one is it? You have a feature where at the start of a turn, if Fighting Spirit, so combat readiness. At the start of your first turn in combat, you gain one of the following. Brace, gain the benefits of the dodge action and advantage on the next save, or Advance, you gain the benefits of a move action and advantage on the next physical check, which includes attacks.
Okay, so I can just give myself advantage on this next attack for free?
You can move for free, and you get, yeah.
Cool. Then yeah, I guess I'll take the advantage.
Alright.
We are going to do a enhanced whirlwind.
Alright,
This will take 2 AP, 2 SP.
alright.
Oh wait, I could just do it this way. Never mind. Okay. So we're gonna click that. Yep, should pop up. There we go. Okay. So we're going to do a wide swing, which will up the radius to 2 spaces, so I'll hit all 3 of them. I'll add advantage. And I'll just select one of them, I guess. Oh, can I select all 3?
Nope, looks like it's just one, so. Oh, wait, oh,
You have to hold shift up.
there you go. Alright, does it say how much damage it is? Well, let's just apply it.
That's extra brutal, and brutal, so it should be like 3-3-2. Plus if the skeleton has vulnerability to bludgeoning.
It didn't roll damage is the issue.
Oh, weird. I only have 1 weapon equipped, so I was hoping it would.
Yeah. Alright, so what was it again? And the skeleton does have bludgeoning vulnerability, so it's brutal.
And then brutal plus on the other 2.
Shit, so that's 3 for all of them, I believe, if I'm doing my math correctly. Right? Or... Because heavy, so it's 1 base, heavy is 2, brutal is 3, so it's 4 for all. 4 for all.
And then doesn't the skeleton gets doubled because he's vulnerable?
Vulnerable is just vulnerable 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, smash all their faces then. Because
Yep,
I did an attack, I immediately get a stamina back. And then...
You did not use a maneuver, you used a technique, I think. And I also don't think you can gain stamina back on the same attack where you spent stamina. I think that's one of the restrictions.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, that'll be it for me then for the moment.
Alright.
Okay, and that'll be the end of my turn, so I'll regain all my AP.
Yep. Okay.
There we go.
This initiative system is screwing me up. Alright. Skeleton's turn. The skeleton is very hurt.
Yeah, but say that's a pretty good hit.
Yep. It is going to see that you are a threat, and it is going to do its best to shoot at you. Huzzah!
We'll parry.
Alright. So it
I'll
reduces
still be
it
1
by...
damage.
Yep. Yep. This other skeleton. Also gonna
parry.
shoot at you. Alright.
My job is the tank. It doesn't matter if I don't deal too much damage.
This is true.
You did kind of a lot of damage, I feel like.
Wait, are you taking damage off me too?
Yes.
Okay, I'm taking my own damage.
Oh, sorry. I'm not used to that.
So there we go.
Go ahead and put 2 back on.
So
Well, yeah,
now,
I should be at 12.
so they're now bloodied, right?
The skeletons? The skeletons
Yeah.
and the zombies are all bloodied. They're not well bloodied. They're just bloodied.
But they're bloodied. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Uh,
Okay.
Oh, and I also made sure you did roll on because Rack blessed you, so you had the D6, so you rolled a 5 on that one as well. So did you do that, or did that automatically apply itself?
I didn't do it.
Nice, it was
On what the
automatic.
rolling?
Yep,
It was automatically applied. He rolled a 5.
yep. I was checking that, and I wanted to see if Nash had done it automatically or not.
No, I didn't touch anything about that.
Sweet, yeah. So that worked properly then. All right, good to know. Rack, one of the skeletons in the back is shooting at you.
Ow.
Sorry.
Whatever.
And then this other
If you were
skeleton.
closer to me, I could defend you.
Oh no, I took a damage. God help me.
How'd you take a damage?
Probably 2.
Hit for 1 piercing?
3 piercing.
Oh, it just says 1 piercing.
He got a brutal hit on you. What's
It says no target.
what's going on?
All
Here?
of mine also say no target. I've just been
Yeah,
doing
it's
the
saying
math.
brutal hit worth a damn.
I've just been doing the math the whole time.
Oh, okay. Well, that's my fault. No modifications found. We're gonna bump this up. All right, let's see if this one works. Does that one say a target?
It does, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
This works differently than it does in the 5U system for the DM side.
Wow, he
So.
Really really was putting all his effort into that, wasn't he?
Is that it, Thur?
Yeah.
That is it there.
Parry again. Drop that by 1 damage. I'll up your defense by 5.
There you go.
Okay. I'm gonna spend a grit because what else am I going to do? No, I'm not at
Oh,
0.
you've killed yourself.
What did the grit do?
What is?
Grit kills yourself.
You can spend a grit to reduce damage taken by 1 or re-roll a save. You have grit equal to 2 plus your charisma, so you have 2 grit.
Cool.
It is if you look on your character sheet, it goes stamina, mana, grit. Grit's like
Yeah, I see
ogre
my
thing
2
as well.
grit.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and also another note as a DM, instead of because these skeletons have like no fancy things to use powers from, it's so much easier with this system to just put all of your AP into a shoot. So, all right, Thur, you are up.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do my elf
Am I getting
dodge.
Am I getting an SP from every one of these parries?
Is parry a maneuver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I'm back up to full on that.
That's it. It's not. So I'm getting a thing.
Yeah, whenever you perform a maneuver.
Hang on.
What are you getting a thing?
Something's going wrong. Hang on. Let me try doing this. There we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna do the full dodge so it gives me the effects, maybe? No?
Okay. Oh, and I can apply that.
Okay. I'm gonna give myself
Nope, that is somehow that is on rack.
Okay.
Nope.
And I'm an elf, so I only need to take a partial dodge to get a full dodge. Then I'm going to spend a move maneuver. And I'm going to use my climb speed. And I'm going to run along this wall to over here. Over their
Okay.
heads.
Yep.
And then I am going to, I believe that means I'm flanking them, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So then I am going to use a, let's see. I guess we can make them bleed, try and make them bleed. So we can do actions, attack. We click on a target, you. No modifications. They are flanked. Where do we add in the things? That didn't work. I'm trying to remember how we did the thing where it was like we could add in all of the different things we wanted to do.
Do you have the weapon thing up?
Is it? Oh, right. Equipment. Long pole. Here we go. Okay. So they're flanked. We're going to give them a bleed. No, we're not targeting me. We're targeting them.
Stab myself. Ah!
There we go. Alright. So we are flanking them. We're giving them a bleed. And let's hinder them with a stamina. And then we can spend our second. Do we want to? Actually, let's take off this bleed and just get advantage. Spend AP to get advantage. There we go. Okay. So we're gonna attack him. Whoa.
I don't think the save is necessary. He's just dead.
How do we get to 5 damage?
You rolled a 17 plus 3 from the 1d6 from Rack. That's 26, and they have 5 precision defense. So.
Oh, okay. So
Brutal.
So if there were like zombies in the book, if there was a monster book at all, this might be different. But I just used the way that you guys come up with stats for the zombies, and boy, did it not turn out well.
Okay.
Turns out having a -2 agility and -2 intellect means that your precision defense is not good.
I mean, that makes sense for zombies, right? Like that's
It
literally
does.
kind of their whole thing.
And the other whole thing they have is they have a trait called Unrelenting, where they can't be reduced below 1 HP unless the attack is a heavy hit or dealt radiant damage. But if your precision defense is 5, everything's almost a heavy hit.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
What
I
I'm
guess it
continuing to hear is I've picked the busted class because I'm turning all these hits into absolute brutal destruction.
Yeah, adding a +6 to everything is kind of busted. Yeah.
Well, it's not a +6. It's plus a
Or
D6.
+D6. Plus D6.
A plus
That's still,
D6.
That's
Yeah.
on average a +4. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Okay. And I get back
Yeah,
to
you're
speed.
boosting our damage. I'm boosting our defense.
All right, and I believe that was all for you, Thur.
That was all my action points. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I should need to ask for is it over should be for movement, just in case people don't move as much as they want to. In the back, the zombie that's just like, no, I will not let you do this. Gonna close. Okay, what is the usual range on this thing? Usual range is 10 spaces. How far away are we? We are exactly 10 spaces. Good. So I don't need to add the range. We are going to add 1 for heal, dampen healing, and then we're going to give it advantage and give it a damage boost. And he's going to cast Death Bolt at Nash. He's going to miss.
All that shit.
Fuck glitch. All right. Do you get this dialogue option, Rack?
What dialogue option?
Okay. I guess because I applied it, it's giving it to me. Do you want to spend 1 AP to sustain Bless?
Yes.
Okay. All right. It's your turn.
Yeah, easily would be doing that.
I don't know why it's asking me.
Like, what the fuck wouldn't I? Shit.
What did he roll? He rolled a 6 and a 4. Come on.
Oh, that sucks, bro. That sucks.
Where's my blessing? Ah.
What is the range on this? Is 10 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, cool! I have it. So I guess we'll spend 2. We'll spend 2 AP. 1 to cast Death Bolt, and 2 to up the damage by 1. And I'm gonna Death Bolt on the Lich there at the back.
Okay.
Does being next to the zombie give you disadvantage?
I don't think so.
17.
Oh, well, shit, that's 4 damage on the Lich.
Pink.
The Lich has a lot more health than the zombies.
Pink.
He's gonna need it.
Yep.
Also, I imagine. Okay, so the one next to Thur is dead.
Yeah.
Is the one
Yes.
next to Nash? Is that the symbol for bloodied?
That is the symbol for bloodied.
So the red blood drops is well bloodied.
Yeah, I'm just going to delete them.
Okay. And then with my last one, I will take dodge. Boom.
Okay. Can
Okay.
you click on that icon yourself to apply it to yourself?
What, for dodge?
Yeah.
I believe so. Let me see.
You might need to target yourself.
That's what we're trying to do.
Okay, so while you're figuring that out, the zombie's turn. There's one zombie who was not very successful in attacking Nash. Is going to try to attack Thur.
Okay.
Paralyzed. That is not what I need.
And minus 1 disadvantage from full dodge, and otherwise he's pumping everything into this hit.
Okay. I am going to spend an action point and a stamina to use my heroic parry. So I get +5 bonus to my PD.
There we go.
Until the start of my next turn.
Okay. I don't think I need to do anything on that on my end, so...
So let's see. Let me see if I can... Okay. Can I... There we go. I did it. I think I clicked it and
There you go.
it did it. Okay. Excellent.
Oh, Rack actually hit the dodge icon in there.
I did. What do you mean?
Oh, it hasn't applied it to your character.
Oh,
Like, you targeted yourself, you still need to click the apply for selected tokens button.
Okay. And
There you
okay.
go.
Let's see. So,
So,
my effective precision defense currently is 19.
Okay, so I will reduce this by 1 damage on you then.
Yeah, and I'll just
because it's no longer a heavy hit.
I'll spend another grit point.
Oh, all right.
I mean, yeah.
Heal that 1 HP back then.
Lev.
Yeah, I'm trying to do things quickly and it's not working out. And this other guy is going to do the same, bite slam. Da-da-da. All right, are you using any and it took away your dodge, so it gave him a disadvantage on that, but he spent a bunch for that. Are you using any grit? For Kalen.
What is grit for?
You
Just
spend...
reducing stuff?
Yep, reduce damage or reroll save.
Yeah, I
And you
will
have
use
you have
a-
4 grit. So
Correct. I will use a grit.
all right. So 1 damage instead of 2. All right. All right, Nash.
Cool. We're going to step up 1. We're going to spend. Why does it say I don't have enough movement?
Because you need to spend an AP for movement. You can't move for free. You got to move for free at the start of last turn because you get a free movement when you roll initiative for your class. But otherwise, you need to spend AP to move.
Okay. I didn't realize that. I forgot that. Alright, I'm gonna do this instead.
Oh, 1 second.
Cool, I can do this instead. Nope. No, I'm 1 AP short doing that. So I could.
Okay, I'm back. Oh, did Nash step away too? Or
No, I'm talking. Can you hear me?
oh, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. So what I'm gonna do is spend my AP. I don't know if it'll let me. It's not letting me do anything.
What are you trying to spend it on?
Well, I can just do this manually, I guess. I'm spending 1 on sweep attack and 1 on extend attack.
Oh, okay. Well, you only have 1 AP is the thing because you get it back.
Yeah,
at the
so
end of your
I
turn.
can spend the S key as the maneuvers.
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
There's a thing when
Yeah,
you
do it.
do the attack, you can have it. You can tell it to spend SP for AP.
There it is. And then I have flanking.
I am flanking you for you. Yeah.
So this should work.
Sweeping, yeah, sweeping attack and Oh yeah, that's both dead.
I am a dangerous little guy whenever you give me targets in a group.
All right, I didn't do the initiative the way that I usually do. So, all right, those 2 are gone. There we go.
And that'll be the end of my turn, so I'll regain all my action.
Yep, and it does that when I hit the next turn button on the initiative thing.
Oh,
so.
okay.
Yep. All right. The skeletons are gonna be like, holy shit, we're skeletons.
Pour ourselves into the smashers, you bastards.
He's just gonna raise his shield. Are you not entertained?
It's like, guys, this might be a
Sorry.
trap. I love that you just go parry.
Can I spend more than 1 grit at a time?
I think you can.
I'm gonna spend both my grit points.
There you go. Do you have next to the damage the plus and minus buttons, or is that just me?
I do.
You do? Yep. So go ahead. Can you do that and then apply it yourself?
Is it the little hammer button that applies?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I've just been doing it on my character sheet. Okay.
That was what was confusing me. Okay. And then I believe that you're pretty proud of yourself for being a fucking menace, so this other skeleton's also going to do the same thing.
Bring it,
Perry.
Perry.
Yeah. Reduce it by 1 and take it. Yeah. All right, sir, you are up. There are significantly less enemies around you.
Well, let's clear out this side, just so that we're all clear here.
Guys, I think that Nash likes the system.
Yeah, I think Nash is maybe having a bit
I'm enjoying it more and more the more we touch it.
So I'm gonna use my climb speed again.
Because that's the thing is I really enjoy being a martial class, but
Mhm.
in 5e, martial class is just kind of like, well, I hit him,
Yep.
and then you're done.
You want to know? Sorry to talk during your turn, Thur, but you want to know the really fun part, though, Nash? I think that you're gonna like draw steel more because it is cool shit, but
Hilarious.
less complicated.
So that was a bleed, and then
Yeah, not gonna lie. Last week I was a little. I'm not sure about this yet, but now that I'm like getting it, I'm like, okay.
so we will target.
It's also your first time using Foundry, and I just found the pop out, so.
Yeah, that was definitely part of it. Is the pop out was not being able to pop out was driving me nuts. And yeah, the only other time I've ever used Foundry was just for warfare, and it's just such a different system.
You did it for the assassination thing too.
Oh, I've forgotten that.
Yeah.
We did it for the wet work team.
That was the.
Yeah.
All right, Thur, what are you doing to this poor zombie who's done nothing to you but a few things to Rack?
So I'm gonna try and kill him.
Is that everything on there?
Yeah, plus the bleed.
All right, physical save.
And I attacked a flank target, so I get a stamina point back.
Failed. Is bleeding.
Okay.
All right.
And
this stat block has no immunity to bleed.
Yep.
He's leaking his now the ichor that I use to reanimate them.
Not a good enough reason to use the word ichor.
Ichor. I believe that is it because you're out of points.
Yep.
The Lich. What is the range on this? Space's range. Can I? All right. Well, all that he can do is Death Bolt again. So, and he realized that the last time, it didn't hit, so he's putting more of his oomph into this.
Ding.
That's 2 1s, a 4, and an 8.
It just bounces off my shield. I just poke my head out on the side.
Rack,
Are you feeling okay over there?
Yes, I'm going to keep
No,
blessed
I'm
up.
very perturbed.
Why would I ever stop?
I don't know. I don't know why it's asking me to sustain it.
Why would I ever stop sustaining the death machine that is Bless?
Seriously, I wouldn't have done nearly as well on those 2 shots. Those were brutal.
I'm gonna do what I did last time, which is I'm gonna spend another action point to up the damage, and I'm a death bolt at the Lich. Let me see if I can target it first.
While he's targeting, I have a question for you, Lev. This is going to be a DM decision, I think.
Yep.
Can I combine my glide speed with a heroic leap?
Oh, I missed.
Damn,
that was low shit on everything.
Oh man, a 2 and a 1. Ugh. Let me look at the glide speed.
Death bolt's not really effective in this house for some reason.
It worked last round.
jumping.
I hit him.
So here's the thing about jumping. Jumping doesn't allow you to end your turn in midair unless it's like off a cliff.
Yes.
So that's what the altitude drop and the glide speed is like. You can use your movement to glide horizontally. You can use your movement to glide horizontally.
That's the thing. I know I can move it to glide horizontally. So, like, can I leap, glide a space, and then continue the fall of the leap?
Yeah, we're actually just gonna do this.
Yeah. I'll say for this, sure.
Awesome.
All right, so we're gonna throw this. It's gonna be a disadvantage because I'm gonna try to death bolt his ass again.
Okay.
Oh wait, I can't. Okay, hold up. I can't do that.
So you should probably just kill the guy next to you.
Boom.
Oh, never mind.
Well, that's the Lich, so it's number 4 on the Lich. All right. That's wreck. This one zombie. Oh, it automatically applied the bleed damage. He is now well bloodied.
Neat. Does that mean
Excellent.
we're
He is
actually
now well bloodied, which means he now takes 1 extra damage because he is in my death domain.
Oh, all right. Well, he doesn't like that.
Do you have any defenses, or do you need me to intervene?
My defense would be using a grit.
Okay.
Which I will.
He's a charisma character, so he's got a bunch of grit.
Yeah, I've got 4 grit.
I mean, I can parry it for you.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a grit.
Okay.
Okay. So on the on the roll thing, there's a purple hammer and then a plus and minus. Go ahead and reduce it by however much grit you're using, and then hit the hammer, and it'll apply it to you. There you go.
Took 1 damage. Bonk.
Awesome. All right, Nash.
Okay, I cannot combine a maneuver with a technique, correct?
You. That's a good question. Does it make? All right. What are you thinking of?
Okay, so I also need to make sure I have enough action to do this. So I'm going to use Heroic Leap. Does that count as a movement action point, or do I also need to spend 1 to move? That's my first question.
I think that Heroic Leap says that like you move as part of the leap. Guys, I hate how this thing is ruled out. Techniques, maneuvers.
So you leap into the air, make an attack check, but I'll need to start running as I'm making this
You gain up to your speed in spaces when you use Heroic Leap, and increase your jump distance by 1. So.
But I also have to spend 1 action point to actually move. It just gains it. No. I gain movement speed.
Yeah, and using the move action gains movement speed. That's what the move action does.
Got it.
You spend an action point, you gain movement speed equal to your movement. So this is it's like a super move. You spend an AP and an SP. Yeah.
So I'm going to be doing Heroic Leap, combining that with the Far Leap. For another SP.
Technique enhancement. Yep. Totally done.
So then what I'd be doing is going 1. I'm just gonna do free movement here because it'll let me. 1, 2. From there, I then jump 1, 2, 3, glide a space, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna be landing right here.
Okay.
I just collided with a wall. I'm going to be landing 1 north of the skeleton.
Okay. I will have to move you. So. Hold the F key. Okay. Whoop, whoop. There you go. Is that where you want to be?
And if I could combine a maneuver with that, as I slam down, I'm also going to do a knockback.
So
is what I had an idea.
It lets you make an attack check against the PD of the target. When you make that attack check, you can add maneuvers to it.
Got it. Okay, then this works.
You're making an attack, so.
Okay. So I'm going to just roll Heroic Leap, and then I'll do the attack separate.
Okay.
This'll. It did what did it do?
You didn't have him targeted. I'll
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is then I was gonna actually roll the attack.
Well, there's a physical save DC when you land for heroic leap. They make you leap into there, make an attack check within one, and it makes a physical save against your save DC. If they fail the save, they fall prone. So they succeed on the save, they don't fall prone, and then make your attack hit. Those are two separate things. You force them to make a save when you land. Oh, and the Lich also needs to make.
No, that's a different thing.
Is it only one?
Yeah, there's another enhancement for
never mind.
heroic
Okay.
slam.
Cool. Okay. All right, so go ahead and make your attack.
Oops.
For some reason, it doesn't have the attack things. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're figuring it out. Okay.
Yeah. There you go. But he only makes one physical save, so the knockback actually doesn't work anyways. But
okay.
I said I was doing it, so I went ahead and put it on there.
Yep. Yes, you did. Okay. Awesome. All right, and that hits him, and he is bloodied. Because that is also bludgeoning. And is it applying the bludgeoning correctly? How much? What are you attacking him with? Brass knuckles.
Brass knuckles, 1 damage.
So 1, so 3. Okay, so yeah, it's adding the additional bludgeoning from the bludgeoning vulnerability. Awesome. Okay. All right. It's the end of your turn.
Yep. Heroic leap across the gap.
Yes, indeed. Sweet. Okay, so this one skeleton is going to take out his sword. I believe, and this might change by the next time we play it, so I'm just going to go off of my belief instead of looking it up to see the latest thing. But he is going to switch from his bow to a sword, which means you get to make an opportunity attack against him if you wish.
Sure. Yep. So we'll go ahead and just roll that flat. He puts his bow up, starts to draw his sword, and I just backhand him with the brass knuckles.
Yep, basically. All right.
Bonk. No. How dare you?
These other guys are saying that you are being an incredible menace and are going to try to shoot you.
Barry.
Barry.
And this other guy.
We're gonna let that one hit me.
All right.
Am I bloodied? Cool.
All right, and third is your turn.
Oh boy.
Need to figure out which one of these skeletons is least likely to die next because I didn't properly set up my. Pro tips for anybody who's running Foundry: when you have monsters for initiative, don't use the tokens on the field for it. There's a dead space for GM only on the side of the screen. You can drop tokens in there and use them for initiative. And then just when all the enemies of that type
You're
are
not
deleted,
that shit in
delete.
roll 20.
That's the
Yeah,
same
I
thing with
know.
me, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just I forgot to do it for this one because I was focused on so many other things. All right. Anyways, there.
Okay, so I'm gonna attack this guy.
All right.
Right in front of me.
Looks like a stiff breeze will do him in.
Okay, so... Alright, we are flanking him. I'll go ahead and spend 1 AP to get advantage. And we'll roll for it.
And he had 1 HP left, and he had a maximum of 7.
And then I'm gonna spend... I mean, Nash is doing a pretty good job of keeping him busy over there. So maybe what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna spend 1 action point to move, and we'll see how far it gets me. So is this gonna stop me from moving too far? How far can I move? I can move 6 spaces, I think. Yes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I collided with a wall. But I'd like to run along this wall over here.
Okay.
Because I have a
1,
climb speed,
2,
so I can just do
3,
that.
4, 5, 6. Yep.
Let's see. And then I guess I'm gonna use my last action point to move again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, and just get behind that skeleton there.
Okay.
And stand there menacingly.
All right. That's all your movement. This lich. Finally, he can use something else.
Oh, it didn't give me back my AP.
Because I haven't switched over the
Oh.
thing yet, because I fucked up the initiative.
Oh.
There, I can. There you go.
I mean, yeah.
He definitely gazes upon Nash. You need to make a charisma save.
And parry won't affect that, will it?
Raise shield would.
Okay, we are going to go ahead and do raise shield then.
All right.
That'll drop it by 1, I do believe. Yep, +5 defense. So what does +5 get me? Just
it just reduces it by 1 because it goes
just
from
reduces it by 1.
It goes from a heavy to yeah. Well, it's also a critical heavy hit is the thing, so it goes from a heavy to a regular because we rolled the 20 on it. And you beat the save, so you're good. You're not frightened. All right. Is his turn. Rack, I assume you want to sustain. Boop.
Yup.
All right.
I am badly hurt finally, though. That was a lot of damage in one hit.
He got a crit on like his Uber ability. So.
Okay. So, I'm going to spend on the Kasani scale. How are you looking, Nash?
2 out of 15.
Okay, I'm gonna use an MP2 bolster, and then since he's within 10 spaces, I'm pointing at Nash and I'm healing. Let me select Nash for the target, and then heal. Boom! 6.
Damn.
Big damn.
Wow.
You barely met that DC.
I did. I barely fucking met that DC.
But he met it.
And then I will dodge.
All right. There we go. We're getting in the rhythm. All right. These 2 skeletons.
This 10 space range is kind of insane because I don't have to do shit else.
You're
I don't
in a
need to
small
move.
building. That's a
I know, but I don't need.
range. Like that's yeah.
This is just crazy because it's like my ass don't need to move.
Were going after me.
They were, yeah, but
Has that changed?
Yeah, one of them is right next to Thur. He's going to drop his bow, take up his sword. So Thur, you get a opportunity attack if you wish.
Well, what I'm saying is, has the turn order changed?
Yes. So technically, it's popcorn turn initiative, so it's you guys, them, you guys, them. So when one of them dies, they just scoot up in the turn order.
Hate that. Okay.
It's technically, it's also each turn you get to pick which one of you goes in what order, sort of thing. That's too complicated for right now. I'm already having trouble with the initiative. But it should be like every turn you guys would get to decide who goes when.
Okay.
That's
But
too,
it's
that's too
still
much.
there's still rounds. So like if there were only one enemy type, it wouldn't be like one of us, all of them, one of us, all of them, one of us, all
Yeah,
of
like
them.
even in this one, Thur goes and then Rak goes immediately after him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and now the Lich is going to go after you. So
since this is an
Okay.
attack, can I use like a debilitating strike on it?
yeah, you can do whatever normal maneuvers you will. The only difference is that this attack doesn't count towards your multi-action penalty.
Right. Okay.
So you won't have disadvantage when your turn comes up, so you can do whatever you want on it, yeah.
Okay. So we're going to hit him. Oh man. Oh well.
Okay. And he is going to boop.
I am going to sidestep to impose disadvantage.
Okay. Okay. And then he's going to take that swing at you.
Ouch.
Alright. That is him, and then this guy is going to shoot his bow at Rakalin.
Grit.
Yeah. Alright. Nash.
Okay, we are going to spend 1 AP and 2 stamina to do a throw with advantage.
Okay.
A what?
Oh, I didn't target.
There we go. Target. Alright.
So I grapple him, and then I chuck him down into the gears as hard as I can, which is pretty damn hard because he failed. For every 5 he fails, I get an additional +1 space.
Straight downwards?
I guess how do I maximize the damage here? Like where would I want to throw him to do the most damage?
Just throw him like a shoe into the gears, sure.
Yeah. So that's 4 spaces down of me throwing him, then he starts falling.
Okay.
I don't know if that helps.
I will say that it is 1 space down, so that's 3 spaces of impact damage. Or how far are you throwing him? 4
So
spaces?
he has +1 space every 5 they fail, so he failed by 10. And then it's half my might, which is 3, so that should be rounded up, I believe. So that's 2. So yeah, 4 spaces.
4 spaces. Okay. So he takes 3 impact damage from just landing on the machinery, and then when he starts his turn, the machinery is going to start grinding into him. And I'll need to figure out what the fuck that means.
It means that really grinds his gears.
Yeah, no, most likely. All right, Nash. Do you have AP left?
No.
Okay. The zombies
Also,
turn.
would advantage have done anything for that, I guess?
Yeah, you would have rolled more dice.
Okay, cool.
Would you like? Yeah.
Well, I know I tried to do advantage. I clicked the button for it, but I guess since it was an athletics check, I didn't know.
Oh,
if it
because you
actually
didn't.
mattered.
You clicked advantage. So if next to the advantage disadvantage, there's a little action point icon. You click that, and that helps you spend action points for advantage.
Yeah, the 0 next to advantage.
No, next to that, there's open up your weapon thing.
Oh,
like roll on
okay.
attack. So because
Yeah.
you had 2 action points left over after that, so that's why I was asking.
Got
Okay.
it. Yeah, no. Technically, that should have used it all.
Let us make a martial check to see if he can do anything about these gears. That's not bad. I'm gonna say the DC is their gears. I'm gonna say 20. I'm gonna say a physical a damage plus another for every 5 failed by, so it's 2 damage because he's down there. He's going to use a movement to climb up onto the bars. You don't have a weapon of reach, right?
Yes, I do. Every weapon I have has reach.
Okay.
All I have to do is do extended attack.
Okay, well, he's going to climb up then and still be within your range. He's going to climb up there, and he's going to climb up there and just look over. It's like, don't do that! Ah!
So that would be Ray Shield again.
Okay.
So -1. I'll go ahead and take that. And then I will roll my charisma. For having 0 charisma, this is going really well for me.
I mean, yeah. Also, remember that you do have second wind, so once per combat, when you're bloodied, you can regain 2 HP and 1 SP. So. Oh,
Awesome.
and you haven't even been using your adaptive tactics.
I forgot what those are.
Look in your class features tab and look at adaptive tactics and start using it. Third.
I only have 1 AP, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to
No.
use it to dodge.
Okay.
Let's see. So I'm going to.
At the end of each of your turns,
We get a full dodge. Well, it's not letting me. Let me see. It's not letting me do a full dodge because. Can we do?
He's not going to attack you more than once. Just do a dodge.
okay, yeah, that's broken. I would have so much more health right now.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So, but you did too. So.
Completely.
All right.
For those of you at home, I could be adding a D8 to every time someone tries to attack me to take it away from them.
Oh.
And we're sustaining bless on Urak. He can add a D8 defensively or offensively to a check once per turn. So.
So he got up.
Yep.
He's
climbed
climbing
back
up.
He
climbing
has
up?
climbed back up to the platform.
That's fine. Okay.
Why
We're
didn't
gonna
I learn
go.
the hover
Okay,
spell?
hold on.
Ah.
So I've used one. We're gonna go crazy. I'm gonna use all 3 of my points that I have remaining to bolster damage up twice on Deathbolt, and I'm going to just cast this Deathbolt at the Lich. Boom.
You so lucky that you rolled so well. He doesn't have necrotic resistance.
Because it's not necrotic. It's umbral.
Oh, well, that's what I mean. He doesn't have umbral
Okay.
resistance. Apologies.
Nope. Bink.
Yeah, he's ah! No, my own petard. All right. That is you. Skeleton time. This skeleton.
I thought it went to Thur next.
I
And
did,
then skeleton.
didn't I?
No. Yep. Thur took his
Oh.
turn. He only had
went
1
for a
AP
rack.
and he used it to dodge.
Yep.
Ah.
All right, we're going to have 1 shoot at Raquelin.
Yeah, no, we're gonna grit. We're gonna grit that.
All right, and then the other one's going to stab at Thur with one thing of disadvantage from the dodge.
Yep. And I'll go ahead and parry it as well. So that'll reduce the damage by 1, right? So I just take 2. So
Yep.
I'll take 1 on my actual health and 1 on my grit points.
All right. Nash, you are up.
Okay, so he's right in front of me again.
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
He is
so
glaring at you angrily.
if I do a knockback and he fails by too much, would it throw him back onto the platform across from us, or would it still just throw him down in the hole?
Yeah. He doesn't. He'd go back as far as it is, and then if he ends that horizontal push without floor underneath him, then he'd start falling.
Would a throw be better?
That's how my physics work. Only at right angles.
Or should I use an action point to step so that way I can guarantee he falls again?
And whatever you do, don't forget to add that tactics die to it, because you didn't spend it defensively.
Nope. Okay. I think we're going to try to guarantee he falls. So we're going to use one action point to move.
All right.
I don't know how to spend that.
You actions move.
Where are actions? I've just been doing maneuvers.
Yeah, I don't. It's on the top HUD.
It's got points, checks, and then actions.
Yep. I don't know where that is on the base game. Like, that really confuses me. I don't know how I do that without the HUD.
Oh, actions. Okay, so there. How do I actually? Okay, yeah. Roll item move. There we go. Okay, and that's going to allow me to just go ahead and step over, and then we will go ahead and target him.
Why did Grace get removed? Oh, did you fail a concentration thing, Rack?
No,
Why is Grace removed?
I don't know.
Because you
Shouldn't be.
sustained it.
Correct.
Okay, I don't know what happened there. Putting it back. All right. Continue, Nash. Sorry.
Okay. Do you know how, if there's a button that I can add that ability in here? A help
With one
dice.
move? Oh yeah. So when you open your
D8.
attack thing, on the right side there's a bunch of die sizes.
Yep, so I'll just add a D8 to it.
Yep.
I will spend one of those. I will spend one of those. And then I do believe I just want to go and spend one of those. Okay. Yep, I think that's how I want to do that.
All right. All right. It's physical save. He is now well bloodied.
Okay, and then I can use the rest of my movement to step back over here.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Okay, he didn't take the knockback though, which sucks, but oh well.
He did. I will not be moved again. All right.
Ooh,
Why is it?
Why did Grace?
Why
leave?
is it removing that? I don't know. I'm putting it back on. I don't know why it's being removed when I. It's very weird. Okay. Target. Instead of Deathly Gaze, I think he is going to instead do a Corrupting Touch.
Okay, so where's this regain stuff that I have?
What do you mean?
You said I have an ability where I can heal.
Oh, once per combat, it's on your turn. It is via. You can just do it manually. It is fighting spirit, second wind. Once per combat, when you
Got it.
start your turn bloodied, so you could have done that at the start of your last turn. You regain 2 HP and 1 SP.
Okay, so it's the start of my turn. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
And he reaches out for a corrupting touch on you.
So that's a parry.
All right. And then, do you want to roll your tactics die, or do you want to save it?
I'm saving it for an attack.
Okay. All right. Thur.
Okay. I hate it took away my grace.
I don't know why.
Okay. So
It's easy to reapply. It's literally there's a button with a rewind symbol on it. So
Am I well bloodied now?
you are still just bloodied. Well
Jeez,
bloodied is a fourth of HP.
interesting.
I'm at 4 out of 15.
That's but 4 out of 16 would be well bloodied, and 15 is less than 16. So you'll
Also,
be
I'd
well
have to
bloodied
have
for
1
3.
more HP. Okay.
What do you get? Oh yeah, because you get the damage resistance. You're flying close to the sun, buddy.
I'm trying to.
Icarus up in this motherfucker.
That's the whole idea.
This is
All
what
right.
you get for gliding his ass.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I'm going to start off by taking a full dodge. And can I make it do it to me? No. I have to have myself targeted when I do it. Let's try that again.
Oh, you can go back. There you go. Can you do it now?
Can I? Nope. Still can't do it.
Okay.
Refresh, maybe? Okay.
There you go.
And I'll give myself back an AP because that's technically just 1 AP. And then I'm going to take the disengage maneuver.
Okay.
Which is just disadvantage on opportunity attacks.
Okay.
And when I take the disengage maneuver, because I'm a rogue, I get 2 spaces of free movement. So I'm going to do this. Oh,
Okay.
it doesn't let me move.
You have to hold F. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, because I'm a rogue, and I get my roguish tactics.
Okay. He is going to take
and
that. He's
so
going to take that opportunity attack.
with double
as
disadvantage to
Disengage.
start.
Double disadvantage. He's just gonna roll that. Okay.
Okay. That's a miss. Let's see. And I gain the benefits of my cunning action, so I gain a stamina. And then is pulling out your other weapon, does that cost an action point?
It's a minor action, which you get like 1 free thing of minor actions per turn.
Okay, so I'm going to pull out a shuriken, and I'm going to throw it at the lich.
All right.
Or a throwing star, I guess. It's a shuriken.
Yeah.
And we're going to put a bleed on it. We're not flanked. Let's target the lich. Calculate, no modifications found. We'll spend an action point for disadvantage. We'll spend an AP, because I think we've only got 2 action points left, so we need to spend an AP. Actually, instead of bleeding and all this, let's do. Oh, we can daze him. That's what we want to do. So dazed, spend stamina instead of AP. There we go. Okay. So we're gonna. that.
Okay, that hits.
All right.
Failed.
So he is dazed. He gets disadvantage on his next mental check, which I believe includes
Oh.
casting spells.
It does.
So,
Alright.
and that's all my AP. I'm also I'm no longer dodging for some. Oh no, I am dodging. I'm also no longer graced.
Grace went away. Yeah.
Something went away that
All
should
right.
be there.
I don't
knows it's too
know
good.
why it went away. All right, Raquelin, you are up.
The game is like, I know this.
Oh,
it's
also,
like
what is the range on your well-bloodied debuff, Rack?
10 spaces.
And what is it? He takes an additional damage.
He gets an extra damage.
He takes an extra damage from that. That didn't apply. So
Yeah, he takes an extra damage if he's within 10 spaces of me for Death Domain. Yeah, 10 spaces is fun in this little room.
That's most.
All right.
Okay. So using an AP to obviously keep Bless up. I'm going to spend an AP for Divine Blessing. And I will pick the I'm tempted to go all or nothing into this shit.
That's the game.
I know. Because I'm on one hit point.
It worked
so it's
last
like
turn.
It's like I could do this, but this could be my last fucking turn.
One
Shit.
way or the other.
I know. Um. Wait, this crap doesn't state that I can only do this like once a day or something. I could have been doing this.
Which
Oh
one?
my god. Divine Blessing in general.
Yeah, that's just how you spend. That's an extra way to spend mana.
And I was taking this as like a channel divinity, and so I'm pissed.
Well,
I could have been doing more.
You could have, but it's you only have a certain amount of mana, and it refreshes on a long rest. So
I'm aware.
Yep.
How much mana do I have remaining? I've got 3 points left. Okay. I'm going to do a Divine Blessing for Restoration, and then I'm going to cast Heal on myself.
Okay.
Wait, what? Oh, that does. Okay.
Make sure to target yourself.
I know. I'm targeting myself, and I'm going to use Bolster as well. So it would take 2 AP, 2 MP to do this. And we are going to... Oh, I fail. Cool.
Still heal for 5.
No, if I fail, I'm only healed. Well, yeah, I'm healed for 5 because of the blessing, so at least there's that.
Spending mana still
2,
gives you guaranteed
3,
stuff. So
4, 5. There. Took me out of bloodied.
all right, you still have 1 AP left.
Cool. We're gonna go fun with this. So I'm gonna cast Death Bolt the on the Lich, and we're
Okay.
going to Chaos Domain.
All right.
Let me target him. We will Death Bolt. Boom. For a hit. Okay, now, where do I roll on this wild magic table? Where is this table?
The roll tables, wild magic. I think I have to. So. So
Oh, no.
everybody looks as Raquelin turns, heals himself, closes some of his wounds, picks himself up from well bloodied, throws a bolt of pure death magic at the Lich. It hits him. The Lich is standing just barely, and then an extra point of damage from Rack's Death Domain kills the Lich, deals the last point of health.
He took 2 He took 2 extra damage.
Oh, he took. Oh, so he's at -1.
Deathbolt
He's
gives
still
him
dead.
1. Deathbolt deals him a damage for being bloodied, and Death Domain gives him another damage.
How much does Deathbolt usually do? 1 or 2?
Let me look.
Because I think the 1 was already factored into the 2. Yeah, it deals 1. Yeah, it deals 1 extra. It deals 1 damage, and it deals. Yeah, so that was already factored in. So he took that. So he took.
Oh no, it does
3
2
total.
umbral. It does 2 umbral base.
Oh, 2 umbral. All right, so he's
believe
dead
so.
regardless. As the Lich collapses, ironically from death magic, Raquelin begins to celebrate and then turns into a sheep.
Man. Oh god, this is the second time playing Dungeons and Dragons with like this group that I turned into a sheep, and now I'm probably gonna die horribly.
When was the first time? I'm trying to remember.
We were running from werewolves or something.
Oh yeah, that was me.
Way
That was
back.
me as DM.
Lev was
They might
DMing. We
not
were
see-
running from werewolves, and I was playing a wild mage, and I did wild magic surge, and I turned into a sheep, and immediately got set upon. Was instant dead because they were like mutton.
Was this
The skeletons might not see you as a threat.
was this the Innistrad campaign?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I remember we all died to werewolves at the end.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I died too, being turned into a sheep.
You don't remember that?
I mean, I
The sheep.
remember. I remember us all dying to wolves. I don't remember him being a
Yep.
sheep at the time. That is.
You
very
guys
funny.
were all trying to leave, and he turned into a sheep while trying to run.
I was
from
like,
you guys.
I'll do something to try to like give you
I
a way
remember. I
out.
think it was one of us got away. I think it might have been Q's character.
I believe so.
Who was like a shadowy warlock guy, and he just got kidnapped by his patron.
Yep.
Is that a mouse?
No, it's a sheep.
No. There's like a little mouse guy.
I don't see
There he
anything.
is.
It went
Yeah.
dark.
Bottom
Oh
right
yeah,
corner.
yeah. Yeah.
He comes out from under one table.
There's a
and goes
lot
onto
of
the
little
other.
animation things on this. Yeah. So the skeletons are they're still under contract. They shoot at you, sir.
Also, I don't have vision.
Okay. I'll use a parry action to reduce the damage by 1, and I guess probably use my last grit point to absorb the other damage, because I don't think they're gonna make me do any. Since the Lich is dead, I don't think the skeletons are gonna make me do any kind of saves. So.
Ding dong, the Lich is dead. The Lich is dead. No. Oh, and then we need to reapply the grace every turn, apparently. And the other one's going to shoot at the sheep. The sheep dies.
Oh no!
And
My
Raquelin
turn
takes the
back.
remaining. Yeah, you take the remaining one.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Nash.
they already did that. I don't know why.
Okay, so we are going to go ahead and do Fighting Spirit, because why not? I don't actually know how to do that, so I'm just going to apply it.
Yep.
So that is whatever. 2 HP, 1 SP. Cool. We are going to go ahead and use Heroic Leap.
All right.
Which gets me 3 movement and 4 leaping spaces.
Are you ending up next to the skeleton at the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay, I will just move you. There you go.
Now, here's my question. No, I won't even worry about that. That's too much work.
He succeeds the save.
Okay. So, within that, there's an attack.
Yep.
So we are going to go ahead and...
Looks like you rolled a 9 on the attack check.
Yeah, but it doesn't do the damage stuff, so just give yourself an action point back and then just roll an attack as regular.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be doing a bunch of stuff on the attack is the thing.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
That's what I mean by give yourself
Yeah.
the action point back and then make the attack, so you have all your points.
Okay. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing that. That. We'll be doing that. And going to be doing
And we're gonna target the skeletons, but it does more damage.
oh, my apologies.
No, well, you were hitting yourself for 4, but you hit the skeleton for 6. So, skeleton very badly hurt. All right, that is you.
Cool. That's me.
Okay.
Don't know.
Let's see. We're gonna dodge still. Do we want to dodge still? This guy hasn't been hit yet. How much hit points do we have?
He's hit a
You
little.
hit him.
Okay.
You hit him when he switched weapons.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I'm going to. Yeah, I think we're just gonna attack him. So I'm gonna.
Wait, so Rack is out of sheet form but still alive, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, the two you can handle that one. I'll kill mine.
So if I remember correctly, these guys were resistant to piercing damage. So we're gonna throw the star at them instead.
They're resistant to piercing and slashing, and they're vulnerable to bludgeoning.
Oh, okay. In that case, I think we just close. Oh, I have to move in order to do that. We'll just throw the start. It's fine. So do we have any stamina right now? I don't think we do. No. Okay. Mental. We'll try and put a bleed. We'll apply an advantage. And that's everything. So we will throw a star.
Okay. Yep, that hits. He is bloodied.
And that's everything.
All right.
I'm still hashtag graced though.
Why is it? I need to look up Grace to see why it's asking me to do that. All right,
Does
Raquelin,
it
your
says
turn.
Oh, here it goes. It says it has -1 rounds left. Is there a time limit?
Oh, it only lasts a certain amount of rounds. That would do it.
Oh, that sucks.
Lasts 1 minute sustained.
It hasn't
Wait,
been.
no. I think a minute is. I think rounds are 10 seconds, so I don't think it's been 6 rounds. What the fuck? Oh, because I had to do weird, stupid things with the initiative. Okay, that's why. Okay, we're good.
Time cancer.
Time cancer.
Okay.
That's neat that it tracks that though, if you're doing it properly.
Yeah.
Dead.
Which one are you aiming at?
The one near Nash.
The one near Nash?
Yeah, because it's well bloodied. Point dead.
It very much is. Yep, it's -3 health. Alright, you still have 2 AP left.
Yep, I do.
Nash just sitting there.
one.
It's like, now
Point
I need
dead.
to jump over it again.
Right?
That one, point dead.
Yeah, that one also dead. Just racked, just papa.
Hilarious.
I got turned into a sheep and almost killed. I'm sick of these skeletons.
I mean, the sheep basically gave you 2 temporary hit points. That's not a bad deal for free.
No, honestly.
Yeah. There you go.
That
Alright,
was a fuck ton of fun.
I am glad to hear that. You have cleared out the bone mill. You have made it safe for the Bone Chewer LLC company to resume their manufacturing of various bone-based products in here. You return. You are given your reward, and you look for your next job in the city of Westgate. And yeah. So, thoughts? Let's go in initiative order again. Rack.
Ten Spaces is fun. 10 Spaces is a lot of fun. I do definitely like that the Cure Wounds spell is not touch. That there's a lot of stuff for cleric that's like not touch based. Because I could just definitely like be more crazy, and then just I'm enjoying the using of AP to like, oh, I'm gonna use my entire turn. I'm gonna do nothing else except beef up this one big spell. Which I know,
think
like,
yeah.
but then like if I knew the blessings, if I had saw and read that the blessings were like, oh, it's this, man, we could have been through that. We could have been through this a lot quicker.
If I
Because
remember
destruction does
yeah.
destruction does 3 extra damage. So it's like when I hit the Lich, it was like, oh, that does 4. I would have been like, that does 7.
But the blessings cost mana, where if you're doing like an actual
No,
full adventure day, yeah, it's definitely a thing of like you need to. It's a resource. You get guaranteed things from it, but it is still yeah. It's not overpowered if you need to ration it out a bit more. But yeah, that's good. But the 10 spaces on that Death's Door thing, the Death's Door or the Well Bloodied, when you're just fighting like small minions or whatnot, where Well Bloodied is like 1 or 2 HP, it's like, whatever, who cares? The Lich had 30 hit points. So when it got to Well Bloodied, that was still like a decent amount of damage that you were able to add on to that. So that's neat. I like that. All right, Nash.
That's the most fun I've had playing a martial class in a minute. Just like with Rack, if I'd remembered adaptive tactics, my damage would have been even more broken. The fact that adaptive tactics isn't a resource I have to watch for feels a little broken. That's
Let's see. Well, what is Thur? What do you get at level 2 as your rogue thing?
I don't know.
Cheap shot.
Cheap shot. That's the
Yeah.
+1 damage.
So
on
Thur's
weapon.
version. Yeah.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. I should have been doing more damage, maybe. Because I attacked flank targets a couple of times. I don't know. I don't think I attacked anything that lived. So, who knows?
Yeah.
And
So
I'm pretty
Thur
sure...
just gets. Yeah, Thur just gets +1 flat damage on anything that has a condition that he's hidden from, or if it's flanked or prone. So your adaptive tactics gives you a +8 die roll on stuff. Thur just does an extra damage on anything that is that he's got a. It's his version of sneak attack.
okay.
Then what's the barbarian one? Just for the barbarian level 2 feature is battle cry, which is just like a big group buff thing, but that costs stamina to do. So it's like you yell anything within 10 spaces, you can grant them 1 resistance to the next source of damage. Each creature deals +1 damage on their next attack against 1 target. Or each enemy or each creature gains +1 speed until the start of your turn. So every class has something cool at level 2. So adaptive tactics is like, hey, if an ability seems broken, but then compared to other abilities, it's actually in line. I think that's good design.
Yeah. Also, having that much fun at level 2 is really interesting. It's that feels different to me than playing a normal game, because usually at level 2 you're just like, okay, yeah, we're here. But
so I know we only did like 1.5 combats at level 1, and that was a bit overwhelming because it was also all the other stuff we were getting to learn.
Mm-hmm.
How much more do you guys like? You only got one additional feature, I guess, or I guess two because also techniques or whatnot. Did you guys feel that one was too complicated and two is like just that? Like how was the curve on that?
So, being new to the game, starting at 1 was important because I had to get my feet under me. But once I understood anything, yeah, playing at 2 was definitely preferred. That's whenever I felt like I actually had real stuff to do every single time I had a turn.
Cool. All right, and then Thur.
Well, actually wanted to ask Nash about, because like we didn't actually get very much from level 1 to level 2 that would have changed like how the classes played. I think
I got another main ability, so that Whirlwind is something I picked up
okay.
at level 2. So instead of just having a Heroic Leap, I also had Whirlwind, which that's what to me felt really cool. Is I had 2 main abilities that I had to pick between rather than just one.
Okay.
Like I'd be okay being at level 2 for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing I'll say is like at the moment, I know, how it is. This felt really powerful for being at level 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like having access to crazy stuff, what it feels like at level 2 is weird.
So two questions for you guys. The first one is, did you feel very powerful because the monsters felt weak and you were just like, it was a numbers game, you were better than them? Or did you feel more powerful because you had more agency?
Agency, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Agency.
if they had been much stronger, we would have just gone down too fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like there were several
Like
times in there where it
that
was
felt
like,
balanced.
yeah, I definitely felt the pressure. So it was in a good spot, I think, in terms of balance.
Okay. And second question, just really quick. In terms of complexity for your level 2 characters, what level would you say would be a comparable level of complexity for like a D&D character? Like what if these characters were D&D characters, what level do you feel they would be with how many options you had?
Like 3 or 4.
Yeah, at least level 4. Probably more like level 5.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it feels more like running for level 5 characters, especially with marshals having multiple attacks and shit.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely feels at level 2 like a tier 2 campaign.
Yeah, I mean, my main feedback that I was going to give was I love how the marshals feel in this version, like in this game compared to 5e. Like, it really felt like you could get up to some, you know, the like, running on the walls and leaping across big gaps and smashing people's faces in and dodging. And like it wasn't just like and not in like a kind of passive way that happens a lot in D&D or in 5e where it's kind of like, yeah, I've got 20 AC. Things just miss me, right? It felt like we had to be active in our defense. And like our defenses were really good, but it was because we were being active, right? The parry, like having to spend action points to parry and dodge to get the that high defensive ability felt really good compared to just being like, oh yeah, I've got a high dex, so I have a high AC.
Agreed.
For perspective there, I'm thinking of one of Nash's turns during this session at level 2. Compare that to one of Alina's turns at level 7. And they're both the same archetype class, fighter and champion, are supposed to be the same thing.
Right.
That's oof.
And Eilena's got the additional thing of like she can play around with her echo a little bit and do shenanigans with that, but that's about
And
it.
Alina's one of the more complicated fighter classes too.
Yeah.
It's like ugh.
I mean, I think the only way you could get more complicated is if you did like Eldritch Knight or something like that.
Eldritch Knight or Rune Knight, I
Yeah.
think are the only two that are more.
Yeah.
But even like it even a Battle Master, I think this is more complex than.
Yeah, but like in a good way.
In a good, oh yes, it gives you more agency.
Yeah.
Complex. Uh, Any other thoughts before I go into like DM side notes?
Let me think. I do think that having the smaller party was a little bit of a doubt. Like I'd like to see how this thing runs if you've got a party of 6 as opposed to a party of 3, because that's kind of like the opposite end of the spectrum of like how many people you generally have in a group. I think that would be very interesting. I think that would be very interesting because I think it's kind of the opposite of how D&D works, where like if you've got a lot of players, a lot of the time you're just like you zone out in between your turns a little bit. And I think this is going to do a much better job of engaging players off turn than D&D does in those big groups, because you're going to be looking
Gotta
for
agree.
you're going to be looking for those parries, you're going to be looking for those side steps, you're going to be looking for you know.
Sorry, you just said Perry. Now I just like I can hear Nash like kicking his feet, giggling like Perry.
Yeah.
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 It's And what I especially like about that third is even for those turns where you spent a lot of reactions on doing things defensively, and which does take like a bit of time on other people's turns and makes other people's turns like a bit longer. When your turn comes up, hey, I'm out of action points, my turn's over. Boom. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
add to the overall round. You're just shifting around where the complexity is. So you stay in it, but it doesn't necessarily bog down combat more.
Yeah, and I had one of those turns, right? Because there was one turn where I started and I only had 1 AP, and so I was like, well, I guess I just dodge, because I don't really
Yep.
think I can do anything useful with 1 AP. Um, but it still felt good because it was like, yeah, I only dodged on my turn. Like I can't help but compare it to like Abel's turns where he'd only dodges, and like
Mhm.
um it felt a lot better, even with the fact that Abel is able to do a lot of things when he only dodges, right? Because he relies more on his bonus actions, and like he's trying to, and he gets his free order whenever he dodges. Like even with all the buffs to dodging that Abel does, like
Yep.
it still felt
That doesn't
better.
even feel like a fair comparison because that's a Kibbles 5e class, which is just better designed than the base 5e
Yeah,
classes, and it's still coming out on top.
yeah, and like no shade to Kibbles, right? Because he's working with what he's got to work with.
Oh yeah,
Like
I think Kibbles does great with it.
like within the context of 5e, I'm having a lot of fun with Abel, but I think I would definitely be able to implement the character idea a lot better in DC20,
Mhm.
just the baseline. So,
Yeah.
And I would love to have an actual campaign where like I put more than half hour of thought into the character design, because there could be so many fun, unique builds with the way they've done their backgrounds and everything. There's so much there.
I
Oh yeah, the character creation is really unique.
Mhm.
I feel like one potential, like that's definitely a point in its favor. One potential downside is, if the character creation is amazing, do you want to play the same character for 3 years, or do you want to play multiple characters?
Oh, it
I mean, I think
for this, I feel it puts
I think that's still a leg up over 5e,
it's
don't
not
get me wrong.
it's not necessarily in the way of, oh gosh, I can't wait. Like I just want to make tons of characters. All I want to do is just make characters. It's just there's like you have an image of what you want your character to be, and you can make that more real in this than in like 5e, because in like 5e it's like, yeah, I'm stuck to this. It's like, yeah, they added in the stuff to add in your own little like ancestral origin or whatever, but it's like it's not as in depth or as modular as this is.
mhm.
Yeah.
Because
I
it's like with 5e, it's like, yeah, I'm a dragonborn, I'm a special kind of dragonborn, yada yada. It's like, but in the end, you're still like leashed to these certain races. But in this one, you can go super crazy and you can make whatever the hell you want and then end up with mulch diggums.
Yeah. I mean, I do think
which
that
will always be my favorite point of this.
I think that the character races traits definitely are tied into the mechanics of like the combat a lot better. At least that's my experience, right? Because like the fact that I'm an elf and able to just get a full dodge every time, like there's a lot more knob. So there's a couple of factors that go into this, right? So as an elf, I was able to get the climb speed and the full dodge as a single action point instead of a double action point. And so that really felt like it affected like how I was playing the character and how I was thinking about the build and just building the super maneuverable character who can run along walls and go through difficult terrain without being stopped. Um, and then but that then ties back into I think there's a lot more knobs that you can use to like mechanically reflect your character's flavor. Like I think
Yeah,
we've touched on this.
like you had a long list of, even when limiting yourself to just the elf table, which you don't need to do, but even just limiting yourself, you had a long list of things to choose from. You're able to pick ones that you want, so there's no dead traits. Like
Yeah.
you're not going to be a lizard folk fighter who gets plate armor but then also has like unarmored AC. Like you don't waste
Mhm.
anything like that. You get to pick what you like. You could have, if you wanted to, you could have taken trade expertise and plant knowledge. You know,
Yeah, being a giant with dragon wings meant that I could jump that gap when I normally couldn't have, and that was really cool.
if we do a full campaign, I'm going to look into that interaction more if you want to do it again. I house ruled that
You
because
can
that
bet
made
your
sense
ass
to me.
he's gonna want to do it again.
Yeah,
I know, but
probably
I'm just
am.
giving you the forewarning. Well, it'll probably be Thur's campaign. Who am I kidding? But I'm just giving you the forewarning of, you said, hey, this is what I want to do, and I said I could either spend 20 minutes looking that up, or I can say that sounds cool, do it. So, because this PDF is terrible to read as a DM. It's
Well, so
terrible.
it also only worked because I was considering the one glide space as part of my movement, and I still had movement and jump to do everything.
Yeah, everything you laid down was like, that makes sense. I'm fine with
Yeah.
it. Go ahead, do it. And especially with the type of arena I'd set up, I had hoped that you guys would do some stuff on the conveyor belt and do stuff, but you had so many tools you didn't need to. This could have just been a ravine.
Hmm.
Well, it
So-
So you're absolutely correct. Being on the conveyor belts probably would have been cool, but 10 spaces.
Yeah. No,
All
you're
that
right.
do shit. 10 spaces.
Yeah.
And then, he's further than 10 spaces up the range.
So, from DM side of things, sort of a behind the curtain, I was using some pre-made monsters. Some of them were from examples in the system, like I think the zombie and the skeleton or so. And then, no, the skeleton was in the system pre-made. The zombie and the lich were from a community member, Onyx, made some like additional ancestry or additional monsters and stuff, and I took those from there. I feel this game definitely needs a monster book. The balance suggests that you should make the enemies' total action points equal to the party's total action points, and like plus or minus if you want the fight harder or easier, and then spread them out
Fair.
amongst the monsters. That is complicated as fuck. I am never doing that. I don't want to have to worry about which individual monster has 2 versus 3 AP and stuff like that. What the monsters definitely need to, if I ever like run this as a full campaign and I'm actually doing prep, is the monsters need to have maneuvers and multiple attacks to make things interesting. The skeletons were cool because they had both the bow and the sword, so they shoot you when they're at far range, and then when you close in, they swap, get the opportunity attack, and hit you with that. They had
Yeah,
all
the
the different
parry.
resistances and immunities. That was neat. I liked that. The zombies needed like a power attack slam, because since all the attacks, since there were no maneuvers on the creature stat blocks, I was just using all the AP on one attack, which meant they were hitting probably a lot harder than intended. Which is, I'm happy that it worked out, that put a lot of pressure on the fight, but holy shit, was that a crap shot that I threw together, I realized like halfway through.
I think
Okay.
I think I agree that for monsters that have multiple AP, that's true. I think for the zombies at least, um, I think you probably would put um, we were talking about this last time about how you like representing the zombies as being kind of slow. They might only have 2 action points, right? And so if they move and they attack, that's it. Or if
Yep.
they're next to you and they start their turn, they give themselves advantage and that's it. Um,
Yep.
so that would be another way to solve the problem. I think I agree that I'm not gonna like on the fly adjust how many action points each monster has, but I think definitely across monster types, like a zombie having 2 action points kind of feels right to me. Um, and so I'd probably do that. A skeleton maybe has 3. Um,
Yeah. If
and then
all the monsters of that type had the same action points, that's a totally different thing. But I wasn't
yeah.
going to go in and edit each individual. And no.
Yeah, that's how I would do it. Is I would keep the number of action points consistent within a monster type, and then
Hmm.
just adjust from there. So you could still do the trying to keep the actions kind of close, uh, and then go from there. But yeah,
Yep. I liked that. I think if the Lich had been designed when, because the tokens I was using were designed before the armor split. I think that's the other thing is that I do think it'll be interesting to have simple like minion monsters, like just a zombie or something or a skeleton, just have like only target precision defense, but then have like a ghoul or like a abomination or something or a flesh golem that can do like a sweep like frontal cleave attack or something that does targets area defense instead. Like there's so many knobs that I am aware of that would have made these monsters better that I just didn't really have access to because
yeah,
it would have involved a lot more legwork, and this is a pretty confusing. Like I would have needed to sat down for a lot more time to set those up properly, and it's like I didn't know I needed them until I did this combat, and now I
yeah,
know. Now I know what I would do differently in the future.
yeah.
So,
I definitely like
uh,
the zombies having a low precision defense really felt good. Being able to come in and just like hit them really hard with a single attack to take them down. Um, like it felt like there was a trick to handling them, right? Like we
yep,
didn't have anybody that was like throwing fireballs, but and I don't know what their area defense is. Probably not too terribly high, but I imagine it's
a little
higher.
better. It was
Yeah,
like 8 compared to 5.
yeah. So I think,
I also could have put them in armor with the thing and just had
oh
like
yeah,
shitty thing of there. But yeah,
yeah. So I think that'd be interesting. That's another thing that like having a bigger party would help with. I
hmm
think is having a party composition that has more options that might be better or worse in certain situations. So, um, like, yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see. But it definitely for 2 low-level minion monsters, the skeletons and the zombies felt very well differentiated.
that's
So
good. Good. Uh, the let's see here. Oh, I actually did the encounter DC properly. So I skipped over this for initiative because initiative is a whole thing, and I just like hand waved it just to get us going for it instead of stopping and like bogging things down of explaining it. The way that initiative works is that it is a group check. Everybody rolls against the encounter DC, which I said is 12 for this one. If you beat the encounter DC, then you start the combat with a D6 inspiration die.
hmm,
If you get a critical success, you gain advantage on a check or save during the first round of combat. And if you get a critical failure, you have a disadvantage on the first thing you do during combat. If the overall party, if at least half of the PCs beat the encounter DC, then the PC team wins initiative, and they start with the first initiative turn, and then you go popcorn from there. And it should be that every time it's a new round, then you can change who's going when in the popcorn initiative, which the initiative tracker is still very much 5E's initiative tracker. It wasn't letting me easily switch who was going when in a round. So I didn't want to. If I could have easily figured out a way to do that, I would have. But if we played this in a full thing and I figured that initiative tracker out, then when a new round started, instead of Rack going first every time, you could have had Thur or Nash choose to go first instead, depending
Which
upon the tech. Yeah.
I know that'll take some getting used to, but I kind of like that because that then does like, okay, this last round happened, this is what's currently going into the next round. All right, so let's have, instead of so and so go first, let's have this person go first to start set up the combos for us to start doing this.
Yep.
Like, I feel there's a lot more group planning then as well in that.
Yeah.
Yep. You could discuss like, hey, do it. Also, I double checked it. A round in combat is 12 seconds, so there's 5 rounds of combat, and we were at 8. So Grace would have fallen off, but whatever.
Okay.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. Okay. I do need to hop off because I got some things to go do. But
No worries.
thank y'all. Had a ton of fun.
And I assume, is this something where if we do a campaign after the current one that we're doing for Thurs, is this a system that you'd prefer to do instead of 5e?
I think, especially with how things are going to be changing and we're going to be losing the old stuff, yeah, I think we're going to have to step away. I don't like the new rule sets.
A learning curve, but
Trying to use Legacy is going to be annoying.
I could just see this as continuing to be fun. Like,
Yeah.
and then with the different kind of customization that we get in this, like, we'd be able to have like a wide variety of characters that still fit D&D in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Yep. Take care. Good night.